Hi, this is Hardball Retro, and we're coming to you live from the Retro Dome. Today's game will be Baseball Mogul 2018. You can check it out on Sports Mogul website. The 2018 and I believe maybe the 2017 version are available for free download, so you can kind of try it before you buy it. Um, I attempted to live stream this yesterday, and I found that the pop-up windows weren't showing up. So hopefully we can see everything today. So I'm in the lineup screen here. What I did, um, basically, you can start a kind of a career mode type of game. So I started with the 1961 Angels. That was the first year that the league expanded the number of teams from 8 to 10. So I'm gonna I'm going to be the manager and general manager of the Angels. I'm already through. I'm into the 1970 season, so I've conducted a number of amateur drafts, signed a number of free agents, and made some trades. So obviously, when you look at this roster here, this is not the 1970 Angels as they actually were. This is based on players that I've acquired through the draft and trades and so forth. So just take a quick look at the bench here and the lineups, and then we'll go to my pitching staff as well before we get started. Um, so I acquired Rod Carew with a via trade with the Mets. The Mets had drafted him the year that he became available in the game in the amateur draft. So I think I did a 2-for-1 or a 3-for-1 deal to get him, as he's my favorite player of all time, and I wanted to take him through his entire career as an Angel, see how that would pan out. So looking at career, I want to see this last season. All right, so last season, Willie McCovey had 30 homers for me. Um, Rusty Staub, I added to the lineup maybe midway through. He had a 380 on base. Tony Perez, I think I acquired him through a trade, 291, 22 dingers. I've got some young players here coming up the ranks. This is their second or third year in the simulation here, so got some growing pains going on with this team. Definitely struggled a bit recently. Kind of decided to go with my youngsters and let them kind of play through their growing pains and see if we can develop a good team out of it. So I've got Reggie in the lineup. I've got Bobby Bonds in the lineup. Rico Petrocelli. Uh, we're probably looking to phase out Buck Rogers as the catcher here. I've got Thurman Munson making his debut, 1970. I'm trying to stick with their debut seasons if I can. It's not always working out that way, but for the most part, uh, I try to bring players, move them up through the minors, and bring them up when they actually made their debuts. So we've got Roy White on the bench, some Yankees here, Bobby Mercer, Paul Blair, and actually I probably should find myself an infielder here as a backup. Um, I do want to bring Bobby Grich up soon. I've got Carlton Fisk waiting in the wings here, so potentially a battle between Munson and Fisk for the catching role within a couple of years. And then if we go a little bit further down the minors, George Foster, Mickey Rivers, you can see the list here, hopefully. And Dave Winfield, obviously in real life never played minor league ball, but he became available here before they basically become eligible for the draft out of high school. So I'm going to work him through my minors. He'll probably come through quickly, but at any rate, so that's the starting lineup. Um, And the only difference versus lefties, I have Reggie on the bench and I have Tony Conigliaro in right field. So let's click out of there and let's go to the pitching staff. So pitching, I have a bit of a conundrum as far as I think I have too much talent, although they haven't really panned out so far. Catfish Hunter I acquired last year in a deal. Going to have him head up the rotation this year. Jim Palmer I just signed as a free agent, though he didn't pitch that well last year. Steve Carlton, same deal, didn't pitch well. I drafted Carlton, Seaver, Sparky Lyle, Tug McGraw, Don Sutton, I believe I drafted. Got a bunch of talent coming up through the ranks here. So right now I'm looking at the Major League last season, what they did, so I can toggle this. I can look at their AAA numbers if they had any. That would be. It's because they don't have any this year now. We're already in the 1970 season. But you can click on a player and look. Let's say Vita Blue. You can see he's got 3 years in the minors so far, pitching fairly well. Let's see. Got Rich Gossage on the DL in the minors. Just drafted Bert Blyleven last year in Guidry. Okay, so anyway, for now, we went through spring training. And let's see here. We're going to go, let's just see, do we need to look up anything else? Lineups, let's just take a look. You can do, I'm not going to do this now, but trading block. Let's see if I wanted to trade, for example, just pick somebody here. All right, let's say Don Wilson. Oh, actually, I have to add him to the list first. Add to list, get offers. All right, and then it'll show me people what they're offering for a trade. All right, so, and if I wanted to, I can refresh this and it'll pop up a new list of players here. I'm not going to make any deals right now, but you can do that at any point. I can click on the news. So, 1969, the league split into the two divisions. So let's see what else. I haven't messed with this too much. You can kind of really get into the weeds here a bit. You can change your ticket prices. You can adjust concession costs. Change your broadcasting fees, so on and so forth. Here's my expenses, player salaries, farm system, right? So you can really get granular with this game. You can build a new stadium. So what I normally do here, let's just look at headlines real quick. All right, so that was from last year. Mickey Lolich, 1.76 ERA, 302 innings. You can look at history, team history. These are the number of players that I sent to the All-Star game. Rookie of the year. Let's see, a couple of Gold Glove winners and so on. Team data. You can see I've really struggled. 1968 was absolutely miserable because I got rid of some decent talent in order to acquire some minor league players, and we kind of suffered through that year quite a bit. Did a tiny bit better last year, but really struggling. Would like to get out of the 100 loss range here. So, all right. So what I do, calendar. Um, Generally, I don't manage the games too much. If I ever get to the playoffs, I would probably manage those. And what we will do in this walkthrough is I'll play the All-Star game. So go ahead and play 1 month of the year. Before I do that, up in the corner here, season record to kind of keep track of the record as we're going through the month. So just keep an eye on that corner. All right, got off to a slow start again. And Catfish Hunter will miss 30 days due to ruptured knee ligaments. Okay, so it pauses here if you have somebody hurt. This will pop up from time to time, somebody with a trade offer. He wants to give me Max Alvis for Don Sutton and Sparky Lyle. I'm going to say no thanks. And let's go to the pitching staff. And Catfish, 30 days, out for 30 days. So I got to swap him out for someone here. Let's look in the minors. What do we got? Let's look in AAA first. So obviously I can move Seaver up into the rotation here, so I'll do that. I'm going to put him and park him in the 5th slot. We're going to move him Catfish down to here, and then we'll swap him out in a second. I could also put Don Wilson up in the rotation. We'll see. We'll give Seaver another shot. He's been pretty miserable in this game for me for some reason. All right, now we're going to swap in. I'm thinking, I know his numbers don't look great, but he's just going to be a long reliever anyway. Some of these guys really, well, Bourbon could get in there somewhere. I think like Jeff Zahn and I forget when Bibby made his debut. But anyway, I'm going to go with Clay Kirby right now. Catfish Hunter, so we highlight him, move to DL. All right. Scroll down. Now we have Catfish on the DL out for 30 days. Gossage is in the minors. He's out for 30 days. All right. Actually, Tommy John should be up in AAA. Don't know what happened there. Let's move him up. Ida Blue. Move Ida Blue to AAA. Singer should be in AAA. And let's see. Apply 11. Move Bird up to AA here. There we go. All right. Done with that. Take a quick look at the lineup. We're 13 games in. Looking at this season versus both. And versus, so, well, since we're looking at lefties, so we have Canigliaro with a 375 in a few games. And then, too early to panic. I'm sure he'll correct that average. It's way too soon to worry about that. But everybody else not really hitting a whole lot here. All right, Munson hitting 259. Buddy off the bench. Okay, not really much going on there yet. All right, let's continue. Play another month here. And we have to remember after 30 days to go back and take, what was it, Catfish off the DL, I guess. All right. Well, looks like we're getting beat up again this year, so. And Kirkpatrick, Cecil Cooper for Tony Canigliaro. Tempting to get Cooper, but no thanks. And just stop, please. Thank you. Come on. No thank you. I said no thank you 3 times. Let's see if we made it through the 30 days, then let's see. Seaver didn't fare well again in the rotation, so he's gonna. Oh, let's first of all. There's Catfish. Okay, so Catfish is gonna come up for Kirby. Kirby's gonna go to AAA. Make sure we keep him up there, keep him happy. Yeah. Something's not doing well either. Seaver. I mean, look at his career numbers, 16 and 49 for me with a 587. Pretty miserable. All right. I hate to keep bouncing him in and out of the rotation. Sutton, last year, 435. You know, some of this is my offense just not producing. All right. And Catfish pitched well last year. I expect him to bounce back, so he's going to move up. He was my number 1 starter, I believe. Hunter, Palmer, Carlton, Ryan, Sutton. Now we're going to, much as I hate to do this, Mr. Seaver is back in long relief. Tug McGraw's getting beat up here. We're going to bounce him down to, what are we going to do with him? Well, again, maybe it's too early to panic. We're going to leave him for now. And lineup. Okay, so McCovey already, like I said, he's up to 205. I'm sure by the end of the year, he'll have his usual output. Reggie only batting 200 with 3 dingers. Not great. Don't have a whole lot of options here. It's Roy White, just probably a few at-bats. Yeah, well, at least he's doing something this year. He was pretty awful in the last few years. Tolan, again, limited playing time. Rusty Staub not contributing yet this year. Petroselli's got 6 homers. Okay, that's better. I think last year he only had a couple. Bonds, 216. Let's look at versus righties versus lefties real quick. Okay, Reggie. And versus lefties. Okay, well, that's where McCovey's struggling quite a bit. Tony Perez, Bonds, Petroselli. All right. Well, we're gonna give him another month to right the ship here. Maybe we'll make some tweaks after the draft. All right, so we'll play another month. Let's go, guys. Come on. Oh, we're doing awful again. All right. Amateur draft occurs today. Okay, well, this is one of my favorite parts here. So make your draft pick. All right, and again, because we're so miserable the last few years, we're picking high in the draft. So Greg Gross, Wayne Gross, Barry Foote went as the first 3 players selected. So if I go here, players, amateur draft, it shows me who's available. I can sort based on scouting number. I can sort on peak. And I can sort on overall. So we've got some pretty good players available here. Let's just see. Now, take a quick look here. We've got Freddie Lynn. Kind of jumps out. Got some decent guys. Nobody really jumping off the page here at me. So I'm not super stoked about the available players. But I'm going to go with Fred Lynn. And here I kind of do a mix of what I need and what's available. I'm leaning towards best available for the most part. So again, let's look at overall. Kind of a mix here. Peak. And scouting. Yeah. Well, I mean, I do have some good catching prospects in the minors, but you can always deal somebody. And since nothing really, I'm not seeing like a super talent pool like I've seen a couple of years here, so I think I'll grab the catcher, Darryl Porter. Can always slide this pop-up window over and see who's selected over here. All right, let's see. Al Holland would seem like a decent relief choice. Dennis Lamp, Joaquin Andujar, potentially. Yeah, go with a lefty reliever. So Al Holland. Got another one there, Terry Forster. Bill Allman. Zambito. All right, let's go. Just look at overall and peak real quick here. Go with Forster. Gotta go with your gut sometimes, right? Especially when you're getting down into the not lower rounds potentially, but here I think we only draft 6 or 7 rounds. So, all right, and here now I'm just looking at names that I recognize, that had any, somewhat decent careers. Joe Sambito's a possibility. As I scroll down the list, I'm not seeing anybody that I'm worried about being selected. Go with Sambito. So stock up on some relief pitchers, I guess. And now let's see if we can mix it up a bit. Oh, there's a ton of relievers down here. Pat Zachary, Rich Metzger. They were the co-NL Rookies of the Year in 1976, if I remember correctly. And I will go with, not really thrilled with anybody on the list here. Just thinking if I need any positional backups or anything here. And quick look at this. Well, Pat Zachary is one of the few names that really jumps out of anybody on the list here. So, all right, that concludes the amateur draft. We are not quite at the halfway mark, but we're having a miserable year again. Take a quick look at the team, what's going on. Here's my lineup versus both. And the numbers are pretty poor overall, I would say. Yeah, even Rusty's not Not doing well with the on base or anything here. Let's see. Maybe we put Roy Wade in and left here. Let's do that. Versus righties. What's Bobby Tolan up to here? Oh, he's only got 26 at bats. We're going to leave Rusty in for one more month versus righties here. Then we might go to Tolan. We'll see. Yeah, nobody's really having a stellar year. AAA. Yeah. Bill Robinson. Yeah, Bobby Grich. He's doing all right there. Nothing super special. How about Double A? Anybody looking to advance? All right, Peshork hitting 297. Kingman 12 homers. They might get a promotion at some point here. Low minors. Anybody? Lyman Bostic, Oscar Gamble hitting decently. Buddy Bell 306. Here's Lennon Porter, who we just acquired through the draft. They haven't played yet. All right, so we're done there. On pitching. Already on low minors, so let's just see who's going down here. What's going on? Okay. Double A. All right. Well, some of my relievers are doing well at Double A. To Calvi. Lyle Evans maybe looking for a promotion to Triple A here. I'm gonna move him up. Let's look at Triple A numbers. Jeff's on 291. Vita Blue. Vita Blue's looking to come up soon. And how are major leaguers doing this season versus both? All right, Catfish. 5 ERA, 5 ERA, 5 ERA. Nolan pitching all right. Don Sutton 6 ERA. Seaver 5.32. Should we swap Seaver and Sutton? Yes, we're gonna try that. At this point, why not? Down, down, down. Don Wilson 687. You guys are killing me here. Tug McGraw 925. Ken Tatum not pitching well. What was Pedro Borbon doing here? Yeah, he's gonna get a look now. Swap him out for Tatum. Let's get him into setup role, I think. No, I don't know. Kelso's doing okay there. We'll leave Kelso. Well, if this stuff doesn't turn around soon, well, I mean, we're already looking at another 100-loss season probably, so I don't know if there's a whole lot we can do here. When you look at the talent on the team versus the performance, it's pretty sad. All right, don't have anybody injured, so we're going to go play another month. And we're getting obliterated here. And Steve Carlton will miss 34 days due to a broken collarbone. That's just great. And you want to send me who? Rick Joseph or Rico Petrocelli? No thanks. All right, pitching staff. Carlton hurt. We're going to bring up who? from AAA. Let's see, what do we got? What do we got here? Jeff's on, Wade Blassingame. I mean, we're probably, well, let's do this first. We're going to move, we'll probably put Sutton back in the rotation, I guess, for now. Carlton down, supporting relief for a second, and then we'll figure out who's coming up. I think I want to let Vita Blue kind of get a little more innings down in AAA. I think TJ is going to come up. Tommy John. Actually, put Tommy John up in the 5th spot. Let's see, can't do any worse than Sutton, could he? Let's see here. There we go. Right. And Sutton was 1-9. And let's give Tommy John another shot here with the rotation. Yeah, what? Singer's doing all right. He might have to come up at some point. Well, and we have, so now we have Carlton moved to DL, so he's out for a month. I'll have to keep track of him down there. Done. And play. Let's just play a week at a time because we're going to be coming up on the All-Star break here. Oh, hey, we're 500 this month. Look out. Another week. There we go. We're at the All-Star game. So I will control the American League. All right, so I'm going to notice, again, players are like, wait, why is this guy in the American League? Well, it's because this game can trade players. These teams can sign free agents on their own. So we've got Juan Marichal. Click on him. He is a Minnesota Twin right now. He was on the Giants for a number of years. Let's see who else. Phil Niekro was on the Braves quite a while. Now he's a Royal. So on and so forth. So you've got players who are tired, obviously, similar to real life. So I'm probably not going to use Niekro or Stottlemyre in the game. Marichal will be the starter. And here's my lineup versus a lefty, Dave McNally. Let's take a look here. Looking at overall stats, so McAuliffe, 20 dingers. So even though he's a lefty, we have Jim Lefebvre with 21. But I like McAuliffe's 400 on base. Tommy Treshkin left. 411 on base, not bad. We have Hank Aaron on the bench currently. We could potentially substitute him somewhere here. We don't have a DH yet. I think we'll keep Aaron on the bench as a pinch hitting threat. Lineup looks pretty decent here. I think I'm going to go with Joe Torre over Bill Freehan. It's 332 average. They both had the same homers. Davis, nice. Bill Gagliano. Second. All right. Done. Get started. So pretty much you just hit bat and pitch here unless you want to make changes. So we've got runners on. Right now I only have swing away and bunt for a hit down here. When I have runners on, I have the option to hit and run, steal, bunt, so forth. with pitchers here, you've got infield in, guard the lines, in at the corners, that type of stuff. So for now, just clicking on bat. You've got the play-by-play up here. Got your lineups over here. Click on a player and see their stats. Swap them out. Scoreboard over here. And we're at Crosley. Let's play ball. Here we go. So, call. So, I have noticed, you'll probably hear it. There's some choppy audio. That may be because I have a lot of things running in the background. I'm not so sure if that's the issue or not. So, alright, we got a base runner. So I can swing away. Now I've got more options. Bunt for a hit. Back bunt, hit and run, steal second, delayed steal, running hit. I'm going to hit and run. Let's see what happens. So you select your option here and then you click on go. Alright, so McAuliffe got down to second. Tresh grounded out first. And we have Billy Williams up. Oh, that's a nice one up the gap. Oh, caught by Cepeda. And we're not going to tag up and go to third on that. Here's McCovey. Looks like catchable. Yep. Alright, so bottom of the first. Kessinger leading off for the National Leaguers. Facing Juan Marichal. And he pops it up to the second baseman. That's good. Round out. Cepeda. Oh, he crushed that one. So we try 1-0. Ron Santos up. Walk. You have it on one pitch mode here. Kind of just cruise through the game. Okay, that looks like a grounder to first. Alright, our team won. Facing McNally, Darren Johnson pops it up. And he fouled out. There's Joe Torre. There's rips a single through the infield there. So Torre's on base for Tommy Davis. Looks like a grounder to the pitcher. Error. Tommy Davis reached first base. Throwing error by the pitcher. And Gagliano's at bat. Double play ball. Odd chance. Well, so that allowed Marichal to stay in for another inning here, potentially. And second. Odd chances out. Then the players up. And out. On Haller. Over. Marichal's at bat. Bat for us. Well, got a couple of catchers, so it's like team apart. Get the ball out here. And he struck. McAuliffe pops it up. Third base side. Foul grounds. Back to the Tommy Tresh is up. And he flies off. Lines out. Leonard. Carver with the pitcher. Let's just look over here. He's got Edwards. Let's scoot that over a little bit. Left-hander. Switch. Left-hander. So go with the lefty. Let's go with Cuellar. We're facing Johnny Edwards. John Kessinger. Fly ball to center. Catchable. 2 outs. And Lou Brock. Alright, got through that inning unscathed. Still trailing 1-0 after 3. And now we have a new pitcher, Mike McCormick, on the mound for the NL, facing Billy Williams. The ground out to second, brings up Willie McCutcheon. Wow. All right, 3 up, 3 down. Cuellar on the mound, facing 2 righties, but then we've got a bunch of lefties coming up, so we're going to leave Cuellar in. Let's see how he fares in the 4th here. Strikes out Orlando Cepeda. Ron Santo grounds 1 to 3rd. He's out. Archie Moore. And he flies out. Alright, so we're still facing McCormick. Got Joe Torre up. Grounder to second. Out. Tommy Davis grounds at second. He's out. Bill Gagliano. Oh, rips a drive to left field. That ball is out of here. Ties the game at 1. All right. Got a 1-1 game. We're going to go to the bench here, facing the lefty. And we're going to go with Ed Spezia. Okay, so we're facing, coming up, lefty, righty, lefty, lefty, switch, lefty. Okay, that makes it easy. Got Lolich. We've got Brewer, Knowles, and Wood. And Wilbur Wood. Grounder towards short. First. Bill Bethea. Pops it up. Good. Tom Power. Second. Alrighty, we got still facing McCormick here. McAuliffe. Grounder to first. Steps on the bag. 1 away. Tom Tresh pops it up to second. We got Billy Williams. Strokes that one in left in there. And here comes Willie Stretch McCovey. Brian to Parkland. And up he goes the other way with it. Down to third. And that's final out of the inning. Still tied at 1. 5 Wilbur Wood. We've got a pinch hitter here, Jim Ray Hart. He gets decent wood on the ball, but caught at center. Pat Davis. Don Kessinger. Oh, he just drills that one. Just a double. Got good speed. And Brock is up. Grounded towards first. Oh, line out actually. Cepeda. Oh, that could drop in there. Oh, caught by the right foot. All right, got a right facing a right-hander now. Bobby Bolin is in for the NL. Aaron Johnson's up. Tortori at bat. Tommy Davis is up. Towards right. Caught. Gagliano. Only run driven in on the home run solo shot today for the AL. We're going to allow him to bat here. Oh, hits it up the gap and right. And alright. Wilbur Wood. Righty, lefty coming up. We're going to leave Wilbur Wood. Archie Moore. Out to right, down. Odd chance. Caught lucky. Right through. Wilbur Wood at bat. No, he's not. Yeah. But he pitched well for us. Still 1-1. Facing a righty. In the field. Comes in. Let's see what he can do. He can ground out to second. Oh, an error. Error by Buffet. Cooper's on first. McAuliffe is up. Oh, that looks like a tailor-made double play ball. And it. Tom Tresh. Across the walk. Decent speed. Billy Williams up. A little hit run. Oh, lines up. We're going to replace, let's see, we could. I'm just thinking about putting Lefebvre at second. And then, let's see here. What do we got? What do we got? Options. Here we go. So we could put Torrey at first, Covey in left. Ugh, it's a lot of swapping for, I don't know if it's much gain. Just let the pitcher bat where it is. So yes. We've got coming up for the NL righty, lefty, and then a pinch hitter, so probably doesn't matter. Start with Mickey Lolich. Go with tough call. Going with Redots. All right, grounder to second. Plenty of levers, yep. We go to the lefty. Knowles. He gets to leave it a pop up, so I'm going to say that was the right call there. All right, new pitcher, Gordy Richardson on the mound for the NL, and I've got William McCovey batting. Oh, pops him up to second. Nolan Johnson smacks it to center. Find out. 2 down, Joe Torre. 1-1 ball game. Torre cranks it towards left. Catchable. And that's it. Then we go to the bottom of the ninth, 1-1. And we're going to keep the lefty in because we have a switch hitter and a lefty. Then we might go to a right-hander for Cepeda and Santo. Oh, Kessinger drills that one up the gap. Double. Lou Brock. And a pitch to Brock. All right, now we got a tough ball here. We've got 1 out. Got a runner on third. And I think we definitely got to walk Cepeda. And Santo, potentially. Let's see. Oh, we're definitely walking Cepeda. Because Kessinger's run is the only one that matters right now. So we want to face Santo or Archie Moore? I think we all know what the answer is there. Load the bases. I do have Jim Brewer here, so we're going to do that. And I still have Lolich and Watt if we do go to extra innings, but basically you need a double play here or the game is over. The question is infield in because we only have 1 out. I'm going infield in. There's no guarantee that we're going to get the double play. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's long enough for a sac fly. And the NL defeats the American League 2-1. Sac fly by Archie Moore, driving in Don Kessler. All right, 28-62. We've got a miserable record, so we're just going to play out the string here. We do have somebody on the injured list. Trying to remember here. We've got Carlton with 20 games left, so we don't want to play a full month. If we want to bring him back, we'll play a couple weeks. Maybe we'll play 3 weeks, I think. That'll give him time to return. Yeah, pretty much Nolan Ryan, Sparky Lyle pitching well for me. Bill Kelso, or Bone pitching well out of the pen. McGraw got the ERA down from 9. Overall, pretty miserable stuff though. Jim Palmer, glad we brought him on as a free agent. He's 2-13. And let's look at the lineup here. Rusty up to 262. Still not much of an offense getting generated here. All right, Munson hitting 289 in part-time play. I wonder if we give Munson the full-time role here, what would that do for us? Not that Buck has been awful, but why not, right? Let's bring Munson up as a full-timer. Petroselli, Bobby Bonds. I think maybe it's time to give Roy White the job over Rusty here. Let's see what happens with that. We're just playing out the string anyway, right? So, Reggie, Bonds, it's Mercer. I just don't have enough room for all these guys, unfortunately. Well, so we give Roy White a chance. What's he done versus righties? 370. I'm sure it's not many at-bats, though. Let's see how this pans out. Lefty switch, lefty righty, lefty righty, righty righty. Okay. I like that. Let's try it. Done. And what did I say? We're going to play 3 weeks, so we can do 1 week clips here. 1 week. All right. 5 and 7 on the month. Not awful, but just there we go. 6 and 11 now. That's pretty bad. Play another week. It went from 6 and 11 to 6 and 17 on the month. That's wonderful. All right, let's look at the pitching now. And Steve Carlton is available, so he will come up for who? Yeah, Tommy John didn't fare so hot there, so Carlton's back in the rotation. Palmer 2-16, that's terrible. Sutton 1-9, awful. Wilson, awful. Tommy John, awful. Do we give Vita Blue a shot at this point? Let's see, AAA. It can't be worse than any of these other guys, right? Okay. I mean, I like the front half of the bullpen. Everybody else has been pretty darn miserable, though. All right, Palmer. Let's see. Vita Blue up for Palmer. Palmer, sorry, bud. You're going to AAA. Just can't stomach that 2-16 anymore. It's miserable. Let's shake up the left. We're going to give Vita Blue the 5th slot. We're going to put Carlton up in the 3rd. Hunter, Ryan, Carlton, Seaver, Blue. I mean, it sounds great, but the results just have not been there. Down here, I don't know if there's much we can really do. AAA. Some decent ERAs, but none of these guys are like lighting Lighting anything on fire here. Singer's all right. Maybe get Singer up there for Sutton or something. Or Wilson. How about for Wilson? There we go. Singer. Let's try that. There we go. Done. 31-75 record. That is just terrible. For the next month. Steve Carlton injured. 14 days, hairline wrist break. Okay. 14 days, that's not too bad. And Tatum's on the DL. Not that we were going to bring him up. Oh, he's pitching well in AAA. Jim Bibby, Clay Kirby. Oh, look at Palmer down there. All right, he wants to work his way back up here. I'd like to give. Let's do this. AAA. Ooh, well, let's see here. Palmer up, Carlton injured, move to DL. All right, and then I'm gonna scoot him down to here. And Sutton or Singer. Let me give Singer a shot in rotation. Up to there. Sutton in middle relief, Palmer down there. This season, see McGraw's kind of finally coming around. He just got beat up early on. Yeah, let's do that. Double A, anybody? Single A, anybody looking for a promotion? I'd say those are decent numbers from Doc Medic. Guidry, decent numbers. Yep, he's gonna get a promotion to Double A. Gator. Probably wait until next year to bump him up. Gossage, not yet. Too soon. These guys I just got. Tippy. Not with that 6.68 ERA. Let's look at the lineup. 39 and 81, man. We're just, hey, but we're 8-5 this month. Look out. We're on a roll. All right, what are people doing for us here this season? Roy White, 312. Kind of like to see what Tolan could do too. Maybe we swap him in. Bonds isn't really setting the world on fire here. What if we swap Tolan in at least against righties? There we go. Bam. Get him up in the order. Righty. Maybe bump Carew down to the second slot. Let's try that. Carew there. Roy White down to there, maybe. Yeah. Maybe at some point we get Mercer in the lineup. I don't know. We'll see. Munson up to 314. Nice. All right. Play ball. Carlton's only out 2 weeks, so we'll do a week and a clip here. 10-9, still 500 for the month. Don't want to jinx it. Oh, look at that, 14-11. We're gonna finish the month with a winning record. All right, let's go back to pitching. So he should be ready to come back. He is. Again, those numbers not great. So Palmer didn't pitch at all in relief. Sutton got a couple games in relief. Okay. Oh, Singer got blown up. All right. Oh, that makes it easier then. Oh, so did Vita Blue. All right, maybe we don't. Let's see here. Carlton up there. Triple A. We got Kirby. Let's get Clay Kirby. Oh, Don Wilson doing well. All right, get Don Wilson back up, I guess. Don Wilson. Get him in the rotation, I guess. Down. All right. And Lyle Kelso. Lyle got roughed up recently, it looks like. McGraw steadily getting that ERA down. Alrighty, here we go. Nolan Ryan's got the ERA under 4. All right, let's just get into September here. Let's see where we wind up. One day, 14-12. 15-12 for the month of August. Well, something to hang our hats on there, be proud of. So we got expanded rosters now. So if you go to your team, right? So now all these guys are on your bench. Not going to slide anybody into the lineup, I don't think, here. Let's see. What if, White is still playing against left-handers versus lefties. It's only hitting 262 versus lefties, hitting 360 versus righties. All right, so I do like leaving Roy White in here versus lefties. Not so much. Not awful, but McCovey's doing pretty miserable against lefties. If we drop him down in the order, 1 position at least. Thurman, Rico, somebody. I think we're just going to leave that versus righties. Tolan, 373, I like that. Caru's hitting 301 versus righties. Well, Reggie's up to 9 homers. I think we'll drop Perez. Yeah, I know it's a bunch of, I don't know. It's too many lefties in a row. We're going to leave it. Float about it briefly. We'll leave it. Roy White, 360 versus righties. He'll stay in there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, done. So some of those guys that are listed on the bench, you'll probably see them at some point here in September versus both. What do we got here? Yeah, so these guys all potentially could come in. And let's play it out. Final month of the season. So we'll do until playoffs unless somebody gets hurt. Are we going to lose 100 games? I think it's highly likely. Yeah, oh, we just got crushed there. Bobby Mercer out. We don't have to do anything because we have a ton of players on our bench, so we don't have to do anything there. We just go back to until playoffs. All right, 54 and 108. Another awful season for the Angels concludes. If we go to the standings, we can see who won their divisions. We got Boston in the East, White Sox in the West, California in last place. And click on here, National League, Mets. Interestingly enough, even though again with all the players shifting around here, the Mets won the '69 World Series in this game without Seaver. So Mets versus Atlanta. Okay. So if I go play through playoffs, and the Red Sox win the series. Right. If I highlight that, you'll see the World Series. Mets took game 1 and game 3. And it doesn't show the whole thing there. But anyway, Red Sox win it. So what I can do here, play until free agent period. And then I do a bunch of contract negotiations. So, for example, Tony Perez wants a 5-year deal from me. So I can submit an offer, I can counter, I can do skip for now and come back to it. Right, so Canigliaro, previous salary was 15,000. Now he wants 148,000 as a part-timer hitting 316. So for example, let's say I don't want to offer him anywhere near that amount because I just don't have that kind of a budget for a part-time player, but I'll give him a decent bump here. Let's see. Our offers are very far apart. Submit offer. He won the arbitration deal, so he's going to be on his way out because there's no way I can afford to pay him as a part-timer. Right? Roy White. He did do well for me this year, so I would consider this to be fairly reasonable offer. I'm going to drop it to that. Submit offer. And I won the arbitration at 35,000. Rusty Staub didn't do well for me this year. He's seeking a raise from 15,000 to 42. I am not going anywhere near that amount. Let's go with 19. And he won his arbitration, so Canigliaro and Staub are going to get dealt. At least I'm going to try to deal them. Carew, I'm okay with that offer. That's fine. Reggie hasn't done much for me, really. I'm gonna lowball him a little bit here. Okay, I got him for 32,000. Paul Blair, he's been riding my bench. I'm not giving him a ton of money. If he does get awarded money, he's gone. All right, I can keep him as a reserve there. Petroselli wants to go from 30,000 to 141. He's got to be joking. I'll offer him. He is my starting shortstop, so I'll give him a decent raise. He's going to be on his way out at 141,000 for 1 year. Catfish. Well, didn't pitch great for me this year, so that's quite a jump. Let's go with, I don't know, 75. And he won 150,000. So I got a lot of decisions to make here. Seaver, going from 19K to, I don't know, let's say 28. There we go. Carlton, same deal. Has not been pitching overly well for me here. Let's go with 28, sure. Okay. Sparky. Sparky's pitched decent for me in relief. We'll offer him 30. Fair. That's fair. Sutton, previous salary was 55, 56. He only started 12 games. He was kind of awful. Wonder if I give him a drop his salary down if he's going to bark at that. Let's see. Well, he looks like I won the arbitration deal. So Tony Perez, 5 years, 282. That's how much? That's going to be 5 into 28, 5. It's about a little over 50 grand a year. Oh man. Well, I know if I lowball it here, he's not going to be happy with the offer. And Buddy Bell is not ready for me at third base yet in the minors. All right, well, I got it for paid 255. Actually paid more than I wanted to there. Oops. All right, so real quick here, here's the free agent list. I am 814,000 under budget. My team is awful. And you're like, hey, there's Hank Aaron. And then you're like, hey, Hank Aaron is 36 years old. So that probably doesn't make sense for us there. Lou Brock, 31 years old. Again, I've got so many outfielders. I don't know if any of these really make sense, but we do have like Petrocelli, who got a large contract. We might want to deal him. So I want to replace Petrocelli with Wayne Causey. Probably not. Ron Hansen. Probably not. Kessinger. So not many choices. Might be stuck with Petrocelli. Not that it's a bad thing, but just for the amount of money. Unfortunately, these guys come up for free agency. A lot of them are kind of past their prime a bit. Billy Williams has been still hitting, but again, I've got so many outfielders, I really don't need. I've got Munson at catcher now, Carew at second, Petrocelli, Tony Perez. I've got decent players. They're just some of them not producing what I'd like to see from them. So Harmon, tail end of his career. Had Cepeda. Cepeda did well when I had him. You can see those numbers there. So I can pop back into this. I don't have to sign a free agent right this minute. Let's just look at pitching real quick. No Pappas. We had Pappas for a few years. Yeah. 19-9 1 year. And who else? I'll have to scan through this. Nobody really jumping off the page here for me. So anyway, we'll click done. And I think we're going to wrap up here. Basically, go ahead and try this game out. Highly recommended. And until next time, play ball. This is Hardball Retro, signing off.